Hello, and welcome back to Method Muse, where we talk about science based manifestation methods and concepts. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're into this topic. Let's get started. So, today we're talking about practicing mindfulness and how it filters your reality and how it allows you to reprogram those filters. Mindfulness isn't non thoughts. It's not being completely absorbed by your thoughts within your character and identity. Our awareness moves around in our consciousness. It moves into our body, it moves into our mind, and it moves into different parts of our mind. So if you imagine that when you are living your life, you're mostly on autopilot, kind of like on the movie Click with Adam Sandler when he programs the remote, that is actually how we operate. The things that we do the most, the things that we perceive the most, things that we give priority and attention become the dominant things in our reality, and they become our autopilot. So when we're having conversations, a lot of the time these conversations are nearly scripted because we kind of know what to expect. Sometimes things, somebody will say something that surprises us. Sometimes it'll be outside of what we expect, but most people, interact with about the same people every day, unless they have a job where, it's normal for them to interact with new people. But even then, they would be used to those interactions because they have them all the time, right? And this is how our identity works. It starts working with the patterns of what the environment gives us. So neurologically, what is happening is you're going off default mode. You're turning autopilot off when you become mindful. You're being very present and noticing everything that is happening inside and outside of you at this moment. You're not really doing anything. You're being. You're literally just being and observing. So when you're shifting your focus to the raw data of what your experience is and the sensations that you're having, like the sounds that you're hearing, and sometimes you'll be focused on what the thoughts are, sometimes you'll be focused on what is your breathing doing, and sometimes it'll be multiple times. Now, the meta awareness, when you're really noticing your thoughts, that's where you can start with the programming because the words don't mean the things themselves, but they can create new concepts within your unconscious associations. So you're not trying to stop the thoughts, you're noticing what they are, and if they're sort of triggering, or maybe they used to trigger you, clearing that emotional state, right? By noticing it in the body. Let's say you think about a time that uh, you were broke. You're trying to manifest money, right? And you're thinking about a time that you were broke and you couldn't buy something immediately that was like on the spot and everybody else could and it was really embarrassing, something like that. And it will give you a sort of physical sensation of what the sensation was when that same thing happened because the memory when it's recorded is of the chemical signature of your body, not the event itself. It was just how you interpreted the event and the information that you had available from the sensation, right? So when you're sort of removing the deeper empathy, like you're still having empathy because you're still recognizing what the feeling is, but once you're stepping outside of the visceral experience, once you've breathed into the feeling and you've let it clear, and then you look at the emotion again, it's not going to create that same sense of emotion, that same physical sense most of the time. And this is where you perfect the pause in this area. When you notice something that is uncomfortable and you realize that it's a part of your mental filters and automation, and these repetitive thoughts, like they can really start looping and they can like activate your system over and over again, literally exhausting all your emotional energy, right? And then you got no energy for feeling your manifestation or really recognizing it or receiving it, and your filter will not let it into your awareness if it doesn't feel safe. So your manifestation could be literally like on a silver platter right in front of you, and your brain would be like, "What? Where? What are you talking about? I don't see anything. That's not part of my identity. I don't see anything," right? And this is where mindfulness comes in so that you can notice that you're in a blind spot. Sometimes you won't even see the thing right away, but just noticing that there is a blind spot, that something is missing here will allow your system to review new information as it comes in, right? As you have more experiences, as you go through your day, as you absorb from, the quantum field of your environment, and as it absorbs and reflects off of you. And then you can use that mindful musing, that mindful consideration. And musing is not really thinking, it's more like considering, analyzing. What is this thing doing? What else could it be doing? Right? So when I feel this sensation from this memory of not having enough, what could I be doing that will help me know that I have enough and that I can always have enough? Like maybe a friend will let me borrow some money if I ask nice, you know? Maybe I'll just find some money like on the ground. People find money on the ground all the time. Maybe I'll just always have $5, $10 in cash in my wallet, just in case anything comes up and I'll forget that it's there, right? You can always take some inspired action in this area too, to resituate yourself to feeling safe around this particular event. Yes, this may have felt this way and this may have happened this way that time, but it is completely possible that I would not have to deal with it again, right? And that it is completely possible that I'm rich and that I have plenty of wealth and I have plenty of opportunities for money and that my money can grow and grow and grow and that I don't have to worry about not having enough, right? And hey, maybe that thing wasn't that great. Maybe they went and they were like, ah, we wasted our money, right? Lots of things can happen. This is a moving story. Choose your own adventure, and you choose your adventure by choosing how to perceive these things. And mindfulness is the source of that ability, because otherwise you just stay on autopilot and just go wherever the story takes you, or wherever outside influences take you, or whatever leader you happen to be following. And a leader doesn't have to be a person, it can be a framework, a concept, an idea, a social construct. So I hope this has helped you to understand a little bit more about the role of mindfulness in manifestation, how it works in the brain, how it works in your system, and how to use it to really change some of these underlying associations that you have that are keeping you from recognizing or revealing or receiving your manifestation. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and sign up for the Method Muse newsletter in the description below.